With us live, we hope he's live. Gary Gilchrist is with us from the Gary Gilchrist Golf Academy. Gary, of course, is the coach of Yanni Sang and Morgan Pretzel, among others. Longtime director of David Ledbetter's Junior Academy. Member of South Africa's national team. Multiple-time winner in his amateur career. So looking forward to speaking to him about many things relative to golf. Jose is on the line from Louisiana to speak to Gary as well. We'll get to Jose in just a second. But first, Gary, welcome to the program. Thank you for your time today.
No problem, Matt. It's good to be here from sunny Florida.
Where are you in sunny Florida?
Just outside Orlando, the place called Howie in the Hills.
Oh, you're north, right? You're up in that beautiful horse country up there.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and this time of the year, it's gorgeous.
Fantastic. Well, we've got Jose on the line. My friend, Jose Ponch, what's happening? How you been?
Good, Matty. How are you?
Doing very well. Great. We appreciate you calling. So you want Gary to work on that smooth swing you got?
Yeah, I'm working on it, and I didn't know he worked at Howie in the Hills. I think I played those Mission Hills, or some course out there. It's wonderful.
Yeah, Mission Inn.
Yeah, Mission Inn. It was a great course. And the question I had essentially is, at the beginning of the downswing, how do you, after you turn the hits and you start coming back, how do you do that, and what do you consider to be good tempo? So those are the questions that I've been kind of really focusing on lately.
Okay. Well, the thing is, for me, if you want to feel what good tempo is for you, because it depends on your personality. If you're kind of a laid-back person, usually the swing is a lot slower.
Okay.
If you're like me, on the go all the time, my swing gets a little quicker. So if you take a club and put it off the ground and make some swings, swing it at different speeds, and you're going to find the right tempo that suits you. And with your weight shift, when you turn into your right side, you're going to feel like your weight moves into your left knee, your hip starts to turn, and your left shoulder at the same time. That's going to help you shallow the club and get the club your arms more in front of you, which will improve your impact position.
Gary, there's some drills that Jose can work on to help with the ladder?
Well, I think number one is you can hit balls just above your feet, which will help you shallow the club coming down. Will also help you, with your stability and really help you get your arms in front of you and square the face. But, most people rush their downswing. So, even feet narrow would help him feel like his arms come down, because the body, I've been teaching for quite a while, usually the body gets too active. So it's usually feeling your arms getting more in front of you is the key.
Interesting. Jose, does that help you out?
Oh, yeah, very much. I really appreciate it.
All right, my friend.
Is he a slice of the ball?
Say it again?
Is he sliced the ball?
Are you slicing the golf ball, he asks, Jose?
Sometimes I slice the ball. I think what's happening for me is I don't really turn to the right, and then if I don't turn to the right, then my whole plane shifts to the left. So I tend to it's more of a dead pull. Whereas if I find that if I finish my backswing properly, and then the problem is when I finish the backswing properly, sometimes I start rushing the downswing a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find a correct tempo. But
swinging the club off the ground, and even turning the club the opposite way around, where the head of the club is in your hands, which is heavy, and the grip, the light end. If you swing that, it's going to help you feel the club shallow, and you're going to feel how your body works. Also, if you don't turn into your right side, usually, you don't have enough spine tilt to the right. Because if you stand with your spine angle straight up and down, your weight's going to stay centered, and then at the top of the swing, you're going to get long, and that moves you into your left side. So you go left to right, kind of a tilt to your left to your right-hand side. But if you have a little bit of spine tilt, that's going to help you turn more into your right side.
Okay. Sounds great.
Jose, thank you so much for calling. Hey, my friend, we're putting together another trip to Ireland, so be on the outlook for the details of that. It's coming soon. Okay, Jose from Louisiana with that one. All right, so Gary, I don't know whether you heard the tease before you came on. We were talking about you earlier in the program. When you're coaching, I know you coach a lot of people and have coached a lot of junior golfers, but you have a number of very prominent golfers that you teach, among them LPGA golfers. Could you talk to us about the purity of the swings on the LPGA and how they generate the power that they do?
Well, today, golf, when I first started, I was told that you reach your peak at 30 years old, and now it's become a young person's game. The gap's narrowed and narrowed. And you take one of my students, Morgan Pressel, made the U.S. Open at 12 years old. But they start at such a young age, and they start with the right basics. And if you have the right basics and a good, solid setup, everything moves naturally. It's when you have a poor grip, because the grip controls the face. And when the face ends up opening or shuts in the swing, that's when the body has to start reacting to square the face. So, on the LPGA Tour now, most of the girls are now working out. They're getting fitter. They're getting stronger. They pay more attention to be more consistent, so their setups are good. And then, some are more, consistent players without power. And then you got Yanni that has a lot of power and speed, which hits the ball a long way. And the difference between when I was growing up, the long hitters wouldn't hit it straight. And now you got these long hitters hitting it straight and have control from 150 yards and in.
So what did you do to Yanni's swing in order to make the ball move so straight with so much power behind it?
Well, again, like I said, her tendency was to get the club face shut going back and get the club laid off and behind hers. So the club used to move a little too from the inside, which is a low handicap move, and then she would either block it or hook it. So just trying to swing the club more in balance, getting the club more over her right shoulder with the club face square, allowed the club to move more in front of her, and she could get more aggressive through the ball. And, again, to me, the game is a game of confidence. And as soon as you start doing a few little things and they start seeing an improvement, they build so much confidence in their swing that they start swinging faster with more focus through impact, and the ball goes straighter and further.
I want to ask you, too, as a gentleman obviously from South Africa,
yeah.
Now the South Africans own 50% of the majors. Talk to us about your reaction to that. How big a deal is that?
Well, I mean, I've come from a country that, has some of the greatest weather, very competitive. We grew up playing all sports. You start maybe with soccer, then you go to cricket and rugby. Mm-hmm. We play against the world. But you have two nationalities in South Africa pretty much where you have, English-speaking and then Afrikaans-speaking who usually play the game of golf. And the Afrikaans-speaking people are more come from a farming background a lot of the times. Mm-hmm. And they're very hardened, and they can take pressure. And I grew up with Ernie and Retief, and it's amazing how they could take pressure, and they'd be at a U.S. Open. It looks like they're just playing with their buddies on a Saturday afternoon. And once we had Bobby Locke win, I think, 5 British Opens, and then Gary Player come through and do what he's done, that was kind of the generating force behind it. And, since then we just keep producing players that feel like they can win majors.
Why is it, do you think, that you mentioned specifically Ernie and Retief? Why is it that they have such hardened mental positions that they're able to handle such pressure? What is it about their upbringing that would allow such?
Well, I think it's just about, playing a game they love and enjoying the process of playing that game and not being so, learning how not to be so hard on yourself. I know Retief's gone back and forth on that where he sometimes gets in his own way. Mm-hmm. But also when we grew up, it was very competitive. Junior golf, we all played off handicaps, which I think was a better way to produce mentally tough golfers. Because, I've been living in the States now for 22 years, and most junior tournaments is based on age. Mm-hmm. So if you go out and I'm 15, but I'm off an 8 handicap and I'm playing against another 15-year-old that's off +1, I never have a chance to beat him. But in South Africa, because we had a handicap, we would play in tournaments and never quit, never give up. So, you could have an 8 handicap beating a scratch golfer off net. So I think that also helped a lot produce, mentally tough golfers. But I think, Afrikaans-speaking people in South Africa is just part of their culture. I mean, they play a game called rugby, and, you have to be one tough person to play that game.